Hello, my dears. I have been waiting for a long time, and finally the moment has come. We now have plums for sale. These are called vengirka. They're small like this. I love these ones in particular. I don't buy other kinds of plums, but because of my greed, I bought way too many. We ate them, and now we're sick of them, so we need to find a way to use them up. So that's why I'm making a very quick, very simple plum cake that anyone can whip up in no time. Even a child can handle this. So I have 100 grams of butter here. So my butter has been sitting at room temperature, but it's really hot here. It might take you longer. Mine sat out for about 15 minutes, I think, and it became soft and reached room temperature. To this butter, I add 150 grams of granulated sugar, vanilla sugar, and a packet of baking powder. How many packets are there here? 10 grams, so that's 10 grams per packet of baking powder and vanilla sugar. I do this right away just so I don't forget. I often forget about these ingredients. We need to beat all of this at a low speed slowly. That is, mix the butter with the sugar. Look, we got this buttery sugar crumb. What's next? The recipe calls for 2 large eggs, but today I have these eggs. In Israel, they sell size S, so I'll just use 4 of these eggs. And the pies, with a pretty runny dough, our dough will be runny too. They don't require exact proportions down to the gram because honestly, if you add a little more sugar or a little less sugar, who will notice? Actually, we do everything to taste. There are approximate proportions, and we just play around with them. First, I beat 2 eggs. And I'll add them one at a time to see what consistency the dough will turn out to be. The 3rd egg goes in. Look, the dough is like liquid sour cream. I won't use the 4th egg. So, just make sure you get a batter that's this liquid. Before adding the flour, of course, don't try to beat it too much. There's really no point in that. Besides, it's also dangerous. There was a time in my life when I whipped the sugar and eggs for a charlotte so much that I forgot to add the flour. And we ended up eating scrambled eggs with apples. Sometimes it's 150 grams of flour. By the way, you were asking about tablespoons. So it turns out that for me, about 4 tablespoons is 150 grams of flour. We counted it at the same time. And again, we beat it all together. This is the kind of mixture we should get. Basically, it looks like buttercream. Take a look. Basically, we've done the hardest part. We've handled the dough, now let's put it into the pan. I have a spring foam pan like this. It's probably about 23 centimeters. You don't need a big one. There's not much dough here. I'll line the bottom with parchment paper, close it, and of course, trim it so nothing burns. I've lined the pan with paper. I always have a spare piece of margarine or butter. I'll grease the edges of the pan with this butter, just in case. Theoretically, of course, this pie doesn't stick because it's made with butter, but just in case, for my own peace of mind, I'll grease the edges. We put the dough in and just spread it out over the entire surface. By the way, don't forget to preheat the oven to 180 to 200 degrees at this point. So, look, you know your own oven better than I do. All that's left is the little things. Just remove the pits from the plums and press them into the dough. It's a completely simple pie requiring no special skills at all. As many plums as you have, or as many as will fit. not all the plums fit, so I guess I'll have to bake again. What am I trying to say? Basically, if you have apples, use apples. If you have some berries, use berries. I think I even made it with oranges once, and that was tasty too, but plums are, of course, plums. So I have this little jar, I think I've shown it somewhere before. Sugar with cinnamon, the ratio is about 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I always have a little jar like this. Oh, the smell is amazing. I sprinkle this mixture over the pie. Done. My oven is preheated and ready. Bake until a toothpick comes out clean, about 25 to 35 minutes. So again, keep an eye on your own oven. See you. Well, my friends, the pie is ready. All that's left is to put it on a plate. What's left? I like to sprinkle pies like this with powdered sugar. If you have powdered sugar, sprinkle it on. If not, don't sprinkle any powdered sugar. So it's like a collective farm. It's voluntary. Well then, let's cut it. The smell of this pie is, of course, amazing. I'll tell you, the plums and cinnamon are just wonderful. Look at this. What a beauty in the cut. What do we have here? It's baked well. The dough, the plums. It's moderately sweet and, in my opinion, very tasty. Yes, it's delicious, as always, delicious. Cook well, my dears. I'm going to make some tea, and I wish you a wonderful day. Cook with pleasure. Subscribe to the channel. There are many delicious and great recipes waiting for you. Bye, everyone.